Hey guys, Anime Gypsy here with a Shokugeki no Souma discussion video. Now, I would like to talk about Etsuya Eizan, or Eizan Etsuya, depending on how you'd prefer to say it. Now, let's start with Persona. Actually, no, I'd like to talk about why I started with him, why he is the first member of the 10 that I'm doing a video on. And the reason is he's the one with the most material on, with the exception of Erna. And with Erna, we get no material about her style of cooking. We've never seen her actually cook seriously against someone. Every single character she's cooked against was fodder level. Plain and simple. Every single one was fodder level. We never got to see a serious cook-off with her, which is why I'm not doing a video about Erna. And the person right after Erna that we've seen more of is not Kagura, it's Eizan. And that's why I'm doing a video on Eizan. Now, first off about Eizan is his persona. And when I talk about his persona, I'd like to talk about what I call the three faces of Eizan. Now, actually no, the three modes of Eizan. Let's get that right. The three modes of Eizan. And the first mode is the calm and collected Eizan. The Eizan that could collect information and analyze the situation. The Eizan that is so cynical in his mind but keeps a calm exterior. And then the next mode of Eizan is the cynically pleased Eizan, the one that always laughs and makes this "oh, you are lower than dirt and I am so high above you" type expression in his face. That person that you want to punch so hard you want to send him outside of the stratosphere and into space, killing him. That guy, that's the second mode of Eizan. Now the third mode of Eizan. The third mode of Eizan is the angry Eizan. And I'm not talking about, that one, "oh, I'm disappointed." No, 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 no. I'm talking about the anger that has veins popping, the anger where the person's head looks like a tomato. Yes, my head looks like a tomato too because I shaved, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Eizan's face that just has veins popping and just blood gushing. His face looks more flushed than someone who drank 3 bottles of vodka. That is the third mode of Eizan. The mode of Eizan that looks like his head is going to explode. That is the Eizan I'm talking about. Now, I'm just gonna say this. In terms of persona, those three modes of Eizan, in my perspective, hint at a little bipolarism that he has. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's what I think he has. And I by saying that, I don't mean to diss on people who are bipolar, because the second thing I'm going to talk about in terms of his persona is actually what makes him bad. And what actually makes him bad is his cold-hearted and obsessive demeanor. Let me get into that. His cold-hearted demeanor, what I mean by that is that he doesn't care who he steps on. He doesn't care if he shuts down a dorm that dozens of students called home. No, hundreds of students in the past called home, and dozens call home now. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't care that someone's going to go out of business when he does something. He doesn't give a rat's. He doesn't care. Sorry, YouTube censorship. I can't say that word. I could just say it starts with an A and ends with an S. I hope you're pleased. YouTube. Yeah, I'm talking to you. YouTube editor, viewer, whatever. Yeah, you. Okay, so that aside. He doesn't care, and that's what makes him antagonistic. And that's what makes him the antagonist mostly. Now, the other thing that also attributes to his villainy is his obsessive need to gain power. And by that, I don't mean that he has the same need as Soma, even though I would say that just having an abnormal drive to be the best cook could be, and this is, I'm not talking about Eizan, but having an obsessive need to being the top cook could lead someone to be a villain in the series. I'm guessing later on. But with Eizan, it's not that. It's actually the need to achieve more capital. Practical level. Be a better businessman. He said to Souma once, when Souma came to him, Souma asked him, "So, are you a good cook?" And he's like, "No, I'm the guy cooks go to for advice." That right there That right there, that right there is a clear indication of his actual ambitions and his actual desires. He wants to be the leader, not of the culinary art, but a leader in the business of food, which is complex. And by the way, I know it's complex for one reason. And my dad is trying to open a cafe, and I've been working as a researcher. And trust me, this is so complicated. You have to learn. You have to take a look at the dynamics of the size of the place, see the size of the fridge, the ovens, how much electricity they're going to take, how much food you're going to have, the storage capacity. I mean, health code stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff there. I mean, just me going through this made me admire Eizan. I like Eizan more because of that particular experience. It is hard, you know, but his ambition isn't towards cooking so much as it is towards leading the business industry. Now, having knowledge about the culinary art, the culinary arts actually helps him achieve his dream of becoming the leader of the culinary world in a business way. That is his dream. And the reason I'm saying this is because, you know, understanding the product helps you become a better trader. You trade better when you understand what you're trading in. That is common business 101. Doesn't matter what you're trading in. If you understand it, you're better off at trading with it. All right, the second thing is his intellect. His intellect. And when we talk about his intellect, we need to talk about his analytical skills. Jesus, this guy could look at someone cooking and understand the chemical components and persona that drives him to cook a certain way, similar to, you know, that the king of stalkers he unleashed on Takumi and Souma. The king of stalkers. Okay. I mean, this guy constantly he messes with my head every single time I think about him. He's fictitious, but every single time I think about the king, I dare not say his name. Every single time I think about the king of stalkers, just something happens in my head, and it's like, is he watching me? Of course, I'm joking. I'm just trying to connect with the audience. Now, going back, so he has a good understanding of the people in front of him and their abilities and capabilities in general, and that is a great part of his intellect. Now, now, the biggest aspect in terms of book smarts in his intellect is his chemistry and slash alchemy. Now, this guy is so smart. He would give Jabir ibn Hayyan, and in case you guys don't know, this guy is considered by many the father of alchemy. He would basically give him a thumbs up. He'd be like, yeah, you're a true alchemist, my friend. Yeah, you deserve that title. Like Jabir ibn Hayyan would be proud of this man. Now, let's talk about his leadership skills. Yeah, I went there. His leadership skills. And this is important because his leadership skills are made mainly by two things that I've talked about: his intellect and his street smarts. And the reason I'm saying this, guys, is because he has a lot of them. In terms of intellect, he has knowledge of chemistry, knowledge of the culinary component, the culinary arts. He is very well versed in them. That's his intellect. He is very that's an aspect of his intellect. He's very book smart, and that's what leads him to achieve power. This book smartiness. Now his street smarts. He's able to manipulate people like he's, you know, the leader of an orchestra. Like, you go there, you go there, you go there, and you go there. Like this guy's a mastermind. Jesus Christ. And it's really fitting that he has those two components of street smarts and intellect, because business, the concept of business, that big concept you see in front of you, if my editing works, business is basically a mix of street smarts and intellect. because intellectually you need to understand your product. You need to understand what you're dealing with. Now, street smarts, you need to understand the trends, you need to understand how people think, you need to be able to not manipulate people, but play with people. You need to understand how to act in certain situations. Now, his main branch of leadership under business, under those two components, is through manipulation, manipulating people through whether they be his underlings. He has a gang under him, a legitimate gang that works directly under him. I'm surprised he didn't do anything too shady. Just saying. I mean, all this time as a promiscuous well, is promiscuous the right word? As a shady teenage boy with a personal gang, and he didn't do any drug deals or. I mean, he has the persona for it. He doesn't care. Well, I guess if he gets caught, then he'd be in trouble, and his dreams would be crushed. But just think about it. He has his own gang, and he's not even 20. I mean, this kid is like, what, 16, 17, 18, maybe 19. Just mind-blowing, guys. And he's just a good way to put it in perspective how his business sense. His business sense is the combination of his street smarts and his intellectual side, his book smarts. So street smarts here, book smarts here, and down in the bottom connecting the two is business sense. His business sense is just off the charts. He's helped more than 500 companies achieve success. And I can't even wrap my mind around that. That is too much. That is way too much. Just saying. Now, the next thing I want to talk about outside of his persona is his abilities. His power level, so to speak. His cooking power level. His Shokugekiness. Now, Rindo said that his cooking skills could win against could beat a lot of the Elite 10 members just alone, his cooking skills. And to me, when you see him cook, you just don't think of it, because he's been the biggest disappointment in the kitchen. He really has. We've never seen him win we've seen him win a single match against the leader of the Skewer Club, but it was rigged. It was a rigged match. You should be proud of yourself, Eizan. And the reason for this is, the reason for us not seeing him achieve this much success in the kitchen is simply, Ishiki says, he does not try to win for his own personal gain. Now, by that, I don't mean that he tries to win for someone else's gain. Oh, heck no. He just doesn't try to win so he could personally be pleased. That leaves open the possibility of him winning through, unfair means. And by unfair means, I mean, just messing with the ingredient. Like this guy, through his intellect, is able to mess with ingredients that allow him to manipulate someone's vision. What did it say? It said, okay. Okay, so basically it said that through his cooking, he could manipulate someone's hearing, seeing, and smelling, as well as tasting, obviously, because, like, Eizan has activated, I mean, Jesus, he's awakened his Bankai and has achieved Kyoka Suigetsu. No, it's just messed up, broken. But it's a double-edged sword, because remember what he said. He said he does not try to win for his own personal gain. That's what Ishiki said. And Rindo said, his raw cooking skills are so great that he could beat a lot of the Elite 10 members. Now, he never actually tries to cook. He just tries to cheat people out. And in this process, his cooking material isn't as good as if he tried to cook without cheating. Now, I'm not saying that he is, oh, the greatest member of the Elite Ten. But I'm saying that he would have probably been the 5th seat or maybe 6th seat if he actually tried. Which I'm not gonna say saddening, because really, like, screw this guy. He's messed up. He really is. But I'm saying that maybe after this arc, after he realizes the wrongs of his ways and attempts to achieve cooking in a more judicial way, he will no longer be the antagonist that we've always seen him. If this happens, then he's up for power up automatically, because he won't try and cheat anyone. And that's a fact. That's a bona fide fact. Because there's no more Kyokasui Getsu BS. No more of that. I mean, just think about it. If he could change what someone sees just by him feeding, is he putting shrooms? Is he putting shrooms in the food? Is that what's going on? Is Eizan intentionally putting shrooms in the food to manipulate someone's visual capacity? Jesus Christ, this guy's. You could see this video is taking a lot out of me, guys, because it's Eizan. And I'm not talking about Sosuke Eizan. I'm talking about the Eizan that could smoke Sosuke Eizan in cooking any day of the week. You see what I did there, right? You guys get what I'm trying to say. And that leaves me to talk about his potential in the future and what his role is going to be. It's obvious that the rebels are going to win. Now, what is his role going to be in his last year, the year after this one, in the Totsuki Institute? That is, if he's not expelled out of the Totsuki Institute for what he's doing currently, which I don't think he will. I don't think any of the members that committed treason will be expelled from the institution. Because it's a democratic institution, damn it. That's why. And because of story progression. But his role in the future, in my perspective, is going to be either one of two things: as a side character, or, and this, actually no, three, or, and that's a big or, he's gonna be a part of an arc later on where he tries to gain entry, or gains entry into the Totsuki Elite 10. And I'm gonna make a video about who I think is gonna be in the next Elite 10 directly after this arc. Now, without further ado, the third and final thing I think might happen in the future with Eizan is that he becomes a good guy. And that's a very, very big if. That's like a 0.000000001%. Just, no. Because I do see a redemption type deal going on with the first seat. And maybe the second seat, Rindo is just, I'm doing it for the fun of it. That's why. That's why I'm causing a racket. That's why. I just want to do it for the fun of it. That's Rindo Senpai to you, my friend. Jeez. I mean, that's all I have to say about that. With the Elite 10 having a sort of redemption scene going on after they've all lost, there is a potential that Eizan might turn a new leaf and be a good guy for the next chapter and help the other cedar saplings to develop. And by cedar saplings, I mean people like Zenji and Ibasaki, people like that. Even I love Ibasaki and I love Zenji, but that's a very big if. Now, that concludes my video. Please tell me what you thought about my analysis, if you liked it, if you didn't, and I'm sorry if I took too much out of your day, and until next time, guys, I will be seeing you later. Anime Gypsy, out.